Good morning, gang. Happy Saturday morning. All right, so if you want to know how to stop the world without ever firing a shot, you got an idea yesterday. Yesterday, we had the largest worldwide IT outage ever, okay? Supposedly, this was not a hack job, no criminal activity. It was a corrupt outlook or update to CrowdStrike, a security platform that a lot of companies use. The file was bad, and therefore it caused computers from banks, hotels, TV stations, retail stores, airports, you name it, to shut down. Okay. The blue screen of death. Now, personally, nothing affected me. I mean, as soon as they said, oh, it's part of the Microsoft Office 365 platform, I have that. I looked and I was like, okay, mine's working perfectly, so it didn't affect me. All right. But think of what it did yesterday to worldwide commerce. There were probably plenty of people who went to the store and ran their debit card and, oops, it doesn't work. Or people that were trying to get on a plane to go somewhere. People watching Sky News. Whatever. It affected a lot of people. Now, it's something that we need to pay attention to. Again, like I said, they claim there was nothing nefarious. This was just a computer glitch, if you will. But that shows how vulnerable we all are with our lives to technology. Now, if you're trying to go across country or whatever, all right, yeah, plane's going to be your most effective way. Sure, you could drive, it'll take you 4 or 5 days. Sure, you could take a train, it'll take you 4 days, 5 days, whatever it would be. In a plane, you'll be there in 5 or 6 hours, no problem. You really don't have an alternative. We all know every time you get in an airplane, you're taking a little risk. But then again, every time you walk out your car and get in that to go drive somewhere, you're taking risk too. Okay. The big one, the one that worries me more than anything else, is the banking one. Because without access to currency, we're screwed. Okay, this is where things can get real sticky real fast, because all of a sudden when you've got $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000 in the bank and you can't access it, that's a problem. I mean, you go back to the story of the woman in Lebanon a couple of years ago who got arrested for trying to rob the bank. And she's like, I'm not trying to rob the bank. I'm trying to get my own money out. That's how fast things can get crazy. We've already seen banking failures, okay, plenty of them, some bigger, some smaller. We've seen branch banking close. We've seen credit card issues where Visa and MasterCard have had software issues. But when you hit people's cash, that's when you have a problem. Make no mistake that the terrorist nations of the world saw that yesterday and said, okay, here's a way to do this. Now think about this. Let's start putting pieces together again. We've had, 11 million, 12 million illegals come across the border from all over the world. And people say, oh, gee, we've let ISIS in, we've let terrorists in. The only way to terrorize people is not the guy with the mask over his face running around with an AK-47, or the guy who can put together some sort of explosive device. That's not the only way of terrorism. How many of those people that came across had computer skills? How many of those people that came across looked like, you know what? This guy might be a good potential employee. He's illegal, but you know what? He'll do this for cheap. Think I'm kidding? Okay. This is exactly what's going on. You've got illegals getting hired by companies all over the place, and not just vegetable pickers, lawn mowers, house painters, that sort of stuff. I mean, they're getting hired into other positions that could have bigger responsibility. Imagine if one of these terrorists gets hired into a company, a bank, and has some computer skills and can take down a bank, the banking system, whatever. You look at companies and they'll say, oh, you know what? Well, we run background checks on people. Yeah, okay. I did that for 20 years, and most of those background checks are a joke. Okay. They'll find some stuff, but if the person doesn't have a criminal record, you know what? No problem. You think if somebody's a state-sponsored agent that the state hasn't done a good job on cleaning up their record? Yeah, okay. And the companies kind of go, you know what? We can get this guy for $20,000 less than anybody else. Let's hire him. Who cares? We'll pay him under the table or something. Yeah, it happens. It comes back to how you protect yourself and diversity of your money. We all talk about having cash at home. How much do you have? Personal opinion, you should have 6 months worth of expenses in cash at home. Okay. Whatever your bills are. If your bills are $2,000 a month, you should have $12,000 in cash at home. And I know that sounds crazy. Buy a safe. They're not that expensive. We should have gold and silver. That's also a liquid asset, though not immediately liquid. Maybe you have some investments or whatever. Okay? Those are liquid. But if the computers go down, anybody that was trying to potentially cash in a CD yesterday, or maybe sell some stock, depending on how it affected Wall Street, I didn't hear, that might have been a little more difficult. Okay. You need to be protected against anything. I know, everybody else knows the economy's teetering on the edge. We're looking at $35 trillion here. As the national debt, this is getting unsustainable. We can't, when the number one expense of the U.S. government is interest, that's when you know you're overextended, okay? If you look at your household finances and you go, honey, we're paying more interest on our credit cards than we are on our mortgage, that's when you have one of those come to Jesus meetings and go, you know what, maybe I need to stop using my credit card. Okay. But that's how the government operates. It's going to come crashing down. And when it does, a lot of people are not going to be able to get their money. Tell me whatever you want. Oh, FDIC insurance or what. Yeah, they have 99 years to pay you back. Okay, 99 years makes me 156. I don't think I'm going to live that long. Okay. Protect yourself. Look at this. I'm just talking about the banking. We could talk about communications, if the cell phones go out. We could talk about hotels or retail, whatever. However, those companies are affected. But number one that you need above everything else is some sort of means of transaction. If you don't have any money, it doesn't matter if the hotel doesn't work, or the airplanes aren't flying, or if the TV stations aren't working. If you don't have the money to buy the product, you don't care if they don't work. That's the thing. You need the money. Look at yesterday and go, okay, even though it was just a mistake, supposedly, the timing, of course, is very weird right after Trump's speech. Could it be, I'm just going to hypothesize here, that the deep state's going, let's practice. Test run. Because every time you do a test, it's bigger than before. Amazing how this was the largest global IT outage ever, huh? Just suspicious timing. Have a good one. Pinball out.